Wait, if you think winter means your garden goes to sleep, you're about to discover why the coldest months might actually be your secret weapon for the most abundant harvest you've ever seen. Hey there, green thumbs. Welcome back to Earthly Gardening, where we prove that incredible harvests don't require incredible spending. If you're new here, you've just joined a community of smart gardeners who refuse to let their wallets dictate what grows. Stick around because today might just revolutionize your entire growing calendar. Before we dig in, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. The techniques I share here aren't recycled advice you'll find everywhere else. This is tested in my own dirt wisdom that actually saves you money while boosting your yields. The science made simple. Let me break down what's happening without boring you with textbook talk. Some seeds have evolved over thousands of years in climates with harsh winters. They developed a built-in safety mechanism called stratification. They won't germinate until they've experienced cold temperatures. It's nature's way of making sure they don't sprout during a warm autumn spell, only to get destroyed when real winter hits. When you plant these seeds in winter, the cold breaks down chemical barriers inside the seed coat, softens tough outer layers, and prepares the embryo to wake up when conditions become favorable. Here's the money-saving angle. Winter-sown seeds develop stronger root systems. They're tougher, more disease-resistant, and can handle temperature swings that would stress out greenhouse seedlings. Translation: fewer losses, better harvests, and $0 spent on heating mats or grow lights. Crop 1. Spinach. Here's what makes winter sowing different. When you plant spinach seeds in late winter, they germinate the moment soil temperatures hit around 35 to 40 degrees. That's weeks before you could safely transplant greenhouse-started seedlings. The result? You're harvesting fresh leaves while others are just starting to plant. Plus, cold-germinated spinach tastes sweeter because the plant produces natural sugars as frost protection. Your taste buds will notice the difference immediately. One packet costs a few dollars and will feed you for months. Crop 2. Lettuce. Lettuce is criminally underestimated as a winter-sown crop. Most people think it's delicate. Wrong. Lettuce seeds actually struggle in warm soil. They can go dormant if temperatures climb above 75 degrees during germination. Winter sowing solves this completely. Scatter those seeds in late winter, and they'll pop up exactly when conditions are ideal. You'll have crisp, tender greens ready to harvest while garden centers are still selling seed packets. Crop 3. Kale. Winter-sown kale is practically indestructible. These plants develop deep roots during the cool months, which means they'll tolerate summer heat better than spring-planted varieties. One packet of seeds planted in winter can feed you for months. We're talking about multiple harvests from the same plants because you're only taking outer leaves. The center keeps producing. It's the gift that keeps giving, and it costs you maybe $2 up front. Crop 4. Peas. Sugar snap peas, snow peas, shelling peas, all of them laugh at cold weather. Peas need cool soil to thrive. They're one of those crops where winter sowing isn't just beneficial, it's actually the traditional method. Plant them in late winter, about 6 weeks before your last expected frost. They'll climb, flower, and start producing pods while the weather is still cool. Once summer heat arrives, they're done anyway, so you're perfectly aligned with their natural life cycle. Plus, peas fix nitrogen in your soil, which means they're literally improving your garden bed for whatever you plant next. Crop 5. Broad beans, fava beans. Here's a game changer: broad beans, also called fava beans. These beauties can handle serious cold. Some varieties survive temperatures down to 10 degrees. Plant them in early winter in milder climates, or late winter in harsher zones. They'll grow slowly through the cold months, then explode with growth when spring arrives. The harvest is generous, the flavor is incredible, and the plants themselves add tons of nitrogen to your soil. Most American gardeners completely ignore these, yet they're beloved in European gardens for good reason. Quick pause here. If you're finding this valuable, show some love by hitting that like button. Drop a comment below telling me which of these seeds you're most excited to try. I read every single comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We're building a library of budget-friendly gardening content that actually works in real backyards. Crop 6. Arugula. This peppery green prefers cool weather. Heat makes it bitter and causes it to bolt quickly. Sow it in late winter, and you'll harvest tender, spicy leaves that transform boring salads into restaurant-quality dishes. One container of seeds costs about the same as a single grocery store package of arugula, but it'll give you dozens of harvests. Crop 7. Onions. Most people buy onion sets because that's what garden centers push. But onion seeds are cheaper and give you way more variety options. Certain onion varieties need a cold period to form proper bulbs. Start them in winter, and by summer you'll be pulling up baseball-sized onions that store for months. A packet of onion seeds costs less than a small bag of sets, but it'll produce 10 times more plants. Crop 8. Carrots. Carrots are notoriously slow to germinate, sometimes taking 3 weeks or more. When you winter sow them, you're giving them a massive head start. The seeds sit in cold, moist soil until conditions are perfect, then they germinate naturally. No fussing with keeping soil moist for weeks. No wondering if they're ever going to sprout. Nature handles the timing. You just harvest sweet, crunchy carrots earlier than anyone else on your block. Crop 9. Cilantro. Here's an herb that loves winter sowing. Cilantro. Cilantro is frustrating to grow in warm weather because it bolts to seed almost immediately. But winter-sown cilantro, it grows slowly and steadily through cool weather, giving you months of fresh leaves before it even thinks about flowering. If you've ever paid $5 for a tiny container of fresh cilantro at the store, you know how valuable this is. One packet of seeds can save you hundreds of dollars over a single growing season. Crop 10. Parsley. Parsley seeds are notorious for slow, unreliable germination. They need cold stratification to break dormancy, which makes them absolutely perfect for winter sowing. Plant them in late winter, forget about them, and suddenly you'll have vigorous parsley plants appearing when the weather warms. These plants are biennial, meaning they'll last for 2 full years, providing continuous harvests of fresh, flavorful leaves. Okay, so you're convinced. Now let's talk about how to actually do this without overthinking it. Method 1. Direct outdoor sowing. If your ground isn't frozen solid, scatter seeds directly where you want them to grow. Plant them slightly deeper than you would in spring, maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Water them in if the soil is dry, then let nature take over. Mark the area with stakes so you don't forget where you planted. Method 2. The milk jug greenhouse. This technique is brilliant and costs nothing. Take empty milk jugs, cut them in half horizontally, but leave a small section attached like a hinge. Poke drainage holes in the bottom. Fill with moist potting soil. Plant your seeds. Close the top and tape it shut, leaving the cap off for ventilation. Set these mini greenhouses outside in a sunny spot. The containers create a microclimate. Seeds stay protected from wind and heavy rain, but they still experience the cold they need. When seedlings emerge and weather warms, remove the tops. Transplant when they're strong enough. Method 3. Cold frames. Build or buy a simple cold frame, basically a bottomless box with a transparent lid. You can make one from scrap wood and an old window. Place it over a garden bed, plant your seeds inside. On sunny days, prop the lid open. On cold nights, close it up. Low maintenance and incredibly effective. When exactly should you be doing this? For most cold-hardy seeds, sow them about 6 to 8 weeks before your average last frost date. Check your local frost dates through agricultural extension offices or online searches. Once you know your last frost date, count backward. That's your window. The beauty of winter sowing is that you don't need to be precise. These seeds are forgiving. They're designed to handle uncertainty. Plant them when it feels right and they'll figure out the rest. Here's what winter sowing has done for my garden budget. First, I stopped buying seedlings almost entirely. A 6-pack of vegetable starts costs $5 to $8 at garden centers. A packet of seeds? $2 to $3, producing dozens or hundreds of plants. The math isn't even close. Second, my plants are stronger. They don't go through transplant shock because many are already in the ground, adapting gradually. Stronger plants mean better yields. Better yields mean more food from the same space. More food means real savings on grocery bills. Third, I'm eating fresh produce weeks earlier than I used to. It extends your growing season on both ends, which maximizes the value of every square foot of garden space. If this video opened your eyes to new possibilities, hit that subscribe button. Share it with a friend who's always complaining about how expensive gardening is. Leave a comment with your biggest takeaway or tell me which seed you're planting first this winter. Look, gardening doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. Winter sowing proves that nature wants to work with you. These seeds are affordable, reliable, and they'll give you results that make you look like a gardening genius. The coldest months aren't downtime. They're opportunities. While everyone else is waiting, you can be planting. While everyone else is buying expensive seedlings, you can be harvesting. Get out there. Grab some seeds. Embrace the cold. Your future self will thank you. Until next time, keep it growing, keep it affordable, and keep it simple. This is Earthly Gardening. See you in the next one.